Way that it's not necessarily the medium that gives us any more or less joy, but it is definitely the medium that first attracted us.
I think even the people who were very sure are right now in a situation where they're also not quite sure. So I think that's a great place for experimentation. That sometimes people who've acted for long, the only way that they can communicate or explain something is by performing it.
Sometimes non-actors also.
Sometimes non-actors also, correct.
Grateful. In fact, Anshuman hooked me like that only. He said, Rasika's playing this. I said, Rasika's playing this? Okay, yeah, chal.
You hooked me like that also. He said, Arjun's playing.
He hooked me with both of them.
Yeah.
मुझे बोला लंदन चल रहा है.
I think my mother and her sisters, they're all like different versions of Hira, actually. They're 6 sisters and they're just so much fun. They're always giggling. They have a WhatsApp group called Spicy Girls.
Hi guys, welcome to Screen.
Hi.
So, if I'm not wrong, Arjun, Rasika, I think this is your first theatrical release after what, 6 years, 7 years?
अरे यार मैंने तो गिना नहीं अब तुमने गिन लिया.
I know. मुझे भी लग रहा है. रुको एक मिनट.
I remember your last one. I
Which
don't
one
want
was
to name yours.
which was my? Oh no, don't. Let's not.
You
go
know
there.
which one.
Yeah, let's not go there.
My last Manto. Ah.
So, does this hit differently?
See, we didn't notice it till you pointed it out. So clearly it's not a thing for us. But yeah, thank you for keeping track.
No, but अच्छा है. I mean, it's good. It's a good feeling, of course. You know, it's the medium. Let's put it this way: that it's not necessarily the medium that gives us any more or less joy, but it is definitely the medium that first attracted us.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
so for our film to be on the big screen is great, and a film like this.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what, I mean,
Yeah.
have we reached that stage post-pandemic where a film like this can coexist with, say, Kantara, or have we reached there?
We are not analysts.
I honestly don't know what's happening with films that do well or don't do well.
I don't
So
think
it's,
anybody has.
yeah, it's. I think even the people who were very sure are right now in a situation where they're also not quite sure. So I think that's a great place for experimentation, and therefore a film like this it's a good time for a film like this, I feel.
Yeah, and Coexistence is like the best of what we can hope for anyway. You know, that's it.
Also, a lot of interesting films are actually in theaters nowadays,
Currently,
right? Like
yeah.
Sourwanda, Humans in the Loop was there.
Homebound.
So like, Homebound, yeah. So I think it's a good time in that way, at least. Like, I didn't imagine that this would be able to come out in theaters. You know, so it's very difficult nowadays.
Anshuman is not here, so I want to ask you guys. It's very interesting that in his first film he played a director in Love, Sex or Dhoka, and now he's turned a director.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean a very different kind of director in this one, but I want to know how is he as a director, and does it help when it's an actor who has directed other actors? Anyone?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it does help. I think I think he has empathy for actors. He's been an actor himself, so he understands the language of what an actor could understand in ways of working. And I mean, we've spoken about this a few times already, but like for me the highlight was actually before the film started. Also, the workshops that we did with all these amazing actors. It was really amazing because a lot of beautiful things came out from that. So I think just the fact that he set up workshops and kind of insisted on it and got all these stars together to like find time for the workshops, like I think that was a really amazing thing.
And he said that this film is his homage to Alfred Hitchcock, but Alfred Hitchcock also had quite a varied filmography. So what was his brief to you? How did you kind of crack the tone of this film in particular? Because I mean, just to say that the black comedy thriller, that's also quite broad, but the tone is very tricky here since I watched the film.
I'll tell you something which I've said several times, that the tone of this film actually, to me at least, it revealed itself as we went along, after I had already signed on to be in it, you know. And like, I think the workshops which we keep talking about over and over, they keep coming up because those were really the time where, you know, everything was thrown onto the table, and whatever was there to be found was actually found there. And we had kind of by the time we actually went on the floor, we had quite a grasp on our characters already, you know. And but even then, the tone revealed itself further to me while filming, you know.
Yeah, I think tone. I think like comes like if you just I feel like whatever the script is, if you really commit to it and find the depth in your characters, no matter what the genre of the film is, then the tone sort of finds itself. Like, you know, then it kind of plays like a piece of music. So I don't think like at least as an actor, I never think this is a comedy, this is a drama, so I should act differently. Like in everything, you have to find the depth and the layers of the characters.
And tone is actually one of the hardest things for actors to understand.
Yeah.
And like Tanmay said, you know, I don't even think that I have to try and have it figured out, because I really try and sort of imbibe the and actually Anshuman as a director also, and most directors don't give you most good directors don't give you tonality instructions. They give you another instruction to fit what they are thinking in terms of, so that's their vision, that's their sort of thinking, and they're the sort of link between everything. And I kind of don't bother myself with it, because I feel like if I do, I might falter. And coming back to your question about having an actor as a director, like Arjun and I were talking earlier also, I mean, it could easily have been a situation, and one was wary of that, you know, sometimes people who've acted for long, the only way that they can communicate or explain something is by performing it.
Sometimes non-actors also.
Sometimes non-actors also, correct. And that I find a very confusing instruction, because then I'm sort of, you know, trying to keep my mind away from mimicking the person and trying to really experience something rather than just trying to perform what they've just performed in front of me. So, I mean, usually that's not a style of direction that I'm very happy with. I find it very confusing. So I was worried that this might be the situation in this case, but absolutely not. And I thought it was like they've already spoken about, the workshopping was done very correctly, because you know, not all workshops are, some workshops have been very counterproductive and because they've just not been done correctly. And the idea is for them to enable to create a world for you rather than give you an instruction for a result oriented emotion, you know. I mean, that's not the idea. So this was absolutely a dream workshop space.
Since you're very quiet, I want to ask, when I saw the film, I mean, I could recognize all three of you. It took me a while to figure out that you're the same guy. But that's also because of the accent, of the body language. You completely transformed into that character. So how did you like crack that character?
That's actually my twin brother.
I would believe that.
It's prestige, yes. It's prestige in action.
I don't know, actually. If I think about it, it was very step-by-step thing. We were experimenting with a lot of things. We had a diction coach who was teaching me about diction. And the idea was to just crack the core of who Basuki was and how it would affect their journeys and, of course, my own journey. And through workshops, through talking, I mean, a lot of it was on paper, actually. I think our writer, Vikas Mishra, has done a fabulous job with the script. He wrote such a detailed script with everybody's arcs and backstories, while leaving a lot of room for us to work with it. And we just had to listen to the instruction of the writer, director, and listening to your co-actors in the scene. That changed a lot of dynamics, because we shot like theater. And we were playing off each other's energy, and that really helped. Yeah.
Speaking of playing off each other's energy, I loved the scenes between the two of you. I mean, you could see that in that room of 4 or 5 people, that there is something going on between the two of them, and then you figure out later. But you've not worked together earlier except for that one scene, one episode in Made in Heaven.
Yeah. Where also we're like barely shot together. It was like
one like
because number one she was drugged through that episode. So and then इसको कोई और वो पीछे से भगा देते हैं कोई हमारा कुछ ज़्यादा मुलाकात नहीं हुआ.
हाँ बिल्कुल भी नहीं. I mean, if at all, we were in a
Crowd scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the first time. I mean, we've, I think, been aware of each other's work for a long time, known each other off camera for a while, and were dying to work together. And I'm so grateful. In fact, Anshuman hooked me like that only. He said, Rasika's playing this. I said, Rasika's playing this? Okay, yeah, chal.
He hooked me like
Yeah.
that.
Smart guy.
both of them.
Yeah, see?
मुझे बोला लंदन चल रहे हैं.
Chalo.
But speaking of Made in Heaven, I want to ask that after the first season came out, there was a lot of chatter about when is the second season coming
There's no
out.
third season.
No, I know.
Ah.
Which is the question that are you relieved that now you're done with that question and you can play other parts without the
Who said I'm done with the question? Abhi bhi aa raha hai question when is season 3
Oh, is
coming?
it?
Yeah, it's true. But are you asking me if I'm relieved that it's done?
Yeah.
I mean, not in this. Yeah, I mean, if it was, I would have loved if it was going on for multiple seasons, but each season can't take 4-5 years. So, मैं बुड्ढा उससे जल्दी हो जाऊँगा, you know. So, yeah, so I think it's ended now at 2 seasons, yeah.
And your character in this film kind of reminded me of one episode from Made in Heaven where they audition in Bhatinda or somewhere in Punjab about an NRI wife.
Yeah.
If you remember that episode.
Sorry, what are you saying? Say?
There's an audition.
Correct.
in one of
For the
episodes,
Punjabi
which is pretty
bride,
much where her character starts from in this film.
Right.
Like it's the same.
Yeah. One of the episodes of Made in Heaven is that guy NRI coming to India to find a bride in Amritsar,
It's
Ludhiana.
exactly your backstory.
Ludhiana. Yes. Ludhiana se.
Yeah, Yania was in it.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But where did you source your character from? I mean, I know from the script, but from your experiences, have you drawn from anyone?
I know so many women like Ira. It's unbelievable. Like really. I mean, I think I could name 20 women who I know like this, you know, and it's who have grown up around. So women who sort of, you know, have this real energy and zest for life, and you can't dampen that no matter where they are, you know, and there's just some spark and they'll have their fun, you know, in spite of underneath all of the conformist things, you know, and they'll find ways to do that, and that's always been very exciting for me, and I've always found that very moving, but also very very interesting, you know, the inner lives of women. And I think my mother and her sisters, they're all like different versions of Ira, actually. They're 6 sisters and they're just so much fun. They're always giggling. They have a WhatsApp group called Spice Girls.
It's too good.
It's interesting you mentioned that because while you're saying it, I'm also thinking of Beena Tripathi from Mirzapur, who also kind of steals her joys from one place or the other, and despite being repressed. Do you see her in that light as a Spice Girl, as you said?
Oh, no, not at all. Beena sucks the life out of other people. She's very, very astute and clever. She knows exactly what is whose Achilles heel, and you know, she's just a different. In fact, she's somebody who I don't know. You know, and that character was very exciting for me because I felt like I've really not experienced being like that or really known somebody that closely or understood somebody like that. So that's exciting for that reason, but this was exciting because this was so known. And then it of course gets into a territory where, you know, if what you know was to play out in a very dark way, what would it be like, you know? So.
But say when you repeat a character again and again, say like a Delhi crime or a Mirzapur, out of these two, which is easier to slip into whenever you go back on set?
Always Delhi crime for me because Neeti Singh is somebody I relate to very much, and she's totally me. This is exactly how I was in my Delhi University days, very idealistic, very sincere, all of that, and wanting to change the world and everything. So that's very easy for me. I'm never nervous about that one. This one I'm always more excited about. Mirzapur I'm always more excited about because I'm always nervous. I'm like, now where is my Beena? Is she still around? Like that.
There's a character in this film who struggles, who calls herself an actor, but is not really a complete like a career actor, because there's discrimination against her in Britain. I want to know from the two of you, because you've worked in the UK. You've also done a show together,
Yeah.
Indian Summers.
Yeah.
We've done 2 shows together.
Oh, 2
Yeah.
shows.
Made in Heaven
Made in Heaven also.
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking about British.
Yeah.
But have you ever faced that, and do you find, what is it that acting there gives you that it doesn't give in India, and vice versa?
Silence on set. That's really the one thing I can think of that international crews
is it
have.
silence or is it sannata?
So research is
Very good, very good.
Yeah. No, continue.
No, but yeah, that is one thing I think like we can really pick up from an international crew is just the focused attention on each person on their own work in silence. You know, it's genuinely taken very seriously there. That I mean, everybody's there doing their work, of course, but the actor is trying to create something out of the ether, which it's you know, loud sounds and people shouting and all is simply not conducive. So when that is when you don't have to ask for that on a set, it's like wow.
Yeah, I would say like also equality. I think the organization and the dignity of labor that you have on an international set in terms of timings, in terms of how much you're working, in terms of how much people are getting paid, in terms of what kind of food people are eating and are they eating together or not. Like, you know, all these things are I think not just in terms of being like woke or like, you know, it actually, in my experience when I've done indie films here also, and I've tried to bring that kind of way of working here, the films are not to be better. For example, Malayalam cinema, I think one of the reasons why it's better also makes good films because everyone comes together to work together. But at the same time, I think what they can learn from us is that sometimes you should like 8 ka 9 baj sakta hai, you know, like, you know, thoda sa like leeway hona chahiye. Wahan par like, you know, at 6
Correct.
o'clock it's like
True also.
you have to end it, and like 6:05 ho gaya to like tabahi ho jati hai. So that so I think the good thing about a place is the bad thing about it. So like,
And royalties, by the way.
that's kept me, I mean, my lockdown was
That's
like
a dukti rag.
yeah.
But finally, I want to ask you that, if I'm not wrong, you started your career as an AD
I did
on
several films, yeah,
Yeah.
including Rang De Basanti, Bunty Aur
Bunty
Babli, Mangal Pandey.
Yeah. Never thought of becoming a director like Anshuman.
I have.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and I can't share.
But
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Who knows? Life is, you know.
But you ask Arjun something, and if he has to agree, he doesn't say yes. He says copy.
Copy. Copy.
It's a very unique.
वॉकी टॉकी वो वॉकी
Yeah,
टॉकी
it is.
की बैठ जाती है एट वन पॉइंट इन टाइम आई यूज्ड लाइक मेरे सपने में वॉकी की आवाज चलती थी
okay, looking forward to the film, watching it on the big screen again.
अमेजिंग
So, thank you so
थैंक
much.
यू थैंक्स अ लॉट